Hello, my name is Edward Krikorian. I work for Addison Technical Services. Today I'm going to give you an overview of a device that we use as a user interface on the Addison units. We call this device the Equipment Touch. This device is presently plugged into this unit through the cable that you see here, connecting to what we call terminal block number 5. Now, before you get started in hooking up your Equipment Touch, you need to make sure that certain things are actually operational in the machine. The most important things that should be operational are these two devices right here that we call the control boards. Your control board assembly consists of two boards. The board on the bottom is called the 812U flex board, and the board on the top is called the 8160. The board on the top is actually an I/O expander, and the board on the bottom is the main CPU or main controller in the Addison unit. Now, before you connect your touch, you want to make sure that both boards are turned on and that you see LED indicators. And on the bottom board, you want to be sure that the 7-segment display that's adjacent to the lithium battery has a segment rotating around in a circle that we call the chase. That means that the board is running and in all likelihood is in a healthy condition. Once those conditions have been satisfied, you can plug in your touch and begin the process of interacting with your Addison unit. This is the Equipment Touch. Now, after it's connected, the unit will download a copy of the screen file to itself. And you're going to see that process with a progress bar as it loads. Upon successful loading of the screen file, you're going to see a screen very similar to this. This screen on the top line there is going to show you the status of the Addison equipment. This one is in shutdown and disabled mode because it is being used for test purposes. So that line will tell you the status of the machine. Now, one of the first things you're going to see when you're starting up one of these units is that line is going to say unoccupied and probably just stay in that mode. So you're going to need to do something about that. And what you'll need to do is you're going to need to change the occupancy control on the unit from the BAS control, since your BAS is not yet hooked up, to 24/7. So I'm going to give you a brief demonstration of how that's done. There is a scroll bar on the right side, and as you press it, you'll be able to navigate to the different menus that you see. And the menu that you want to go to change the occupancy control is called Controls. So you press that, and at this point it's going to ask you for an administrator password. The administrator password for the touch is 1952, and I'm going to key that in at this time. Okay, and then press Done. And that'll take us into this higher level screen. And you'll see at the top where it says occupancy control, I've already changed it to 24/7. However, when you start the machine up the first time, it's probably going to say something like BAS control. And I'm going to show you that right now. So you'll see something like that. So you're going to change that to 24/7. After you've done that, you're going to want to examine a few things. For instance, you're going to want to know what the alarms are. And at the top of the screen, you're going to see an exclamation point, and if it's lit up in bright red like it is right now, if you tap on it, it will give you a list of alarms. And right now the unit is telling us that we have a condensate overflow switch alarm and a supply fan alarm. So that'll give you an idea of what device is creating your alarm situation that you have. Okay, now we want to talk about something important. Many units need to have external devices connected to them. For instance, smoke detectors, condensate overflow switches, clog filter indicators. These devices are optional, and they can be connected electrically to both of these boards. All right, but before you do that, you actually have to activate those functions through the Equipment Touch terminal. Now, to do that, you want to start from your home menu by pressing the home button, and then go to the menu that's called Config. Right here. Press that. Now, under the Config menu, you're going to want to scroll down using the scroll bar, and you're going to want to go to Unit Options. Under Unit Options, you're going to want to go to Miscellaneous Options A or B. When you go to those, if you tap on them, you will see the available optional input devices that you can connect to the device. For instance, right here we have CFI, that stands for clog filter indicator, COS, which stands for condensate overflow switch, and SD, which stands for smoke detector, and several others. So all you'll do then is select those. Once they're selected, the inputs will actually be turned on the ALC controller, and it will be necessary for you to have those connected. If you do not, the unit will go into a shutdown. I hope you enjoyed our video today. If you have further questions, you can always call technical services for additional information. Thank you.